Hey everyone, welcome back. It's MLB Now, home edition. I'm Brian Kenny. We're joined right now and happy to have back a friend of the show, the original opener, Ryne Stanek of the Miami Marlins. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just staying safe, hanging out at home.
Yeah, we all know that feeling. What is your day like, though, given that you're a professional athlete at some point, what is your day like?
Yeah, it's like I get up and I do what I can workout wise in the morning, and then I try to find a little bit of time to throw mid morning, and then basically for the rest of the day, I just keep myself from going stir crazy. I play with my pup and basically play video games and hang out with my girlfriend and just kind of try to live as normal of a life as like all this is happening.
How much throwing do you do and to whom?
Actually, a guy that lives in my house is he's with the Cardinals, so it actually kind of works out good. Like we've been able to like get some work in together, and it makes it a little bit easier during this time that somebody else has to get his work in too. So we can just go outside and play catch. We basically just throw in the street and then walk back inside.
So kind of like when you're 11 years old or something.
Exactly, the super little league stuff. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Do you get in the catchers? Like, do you just squat and say, "All right, let's"?
Nope.
You're just playing catch.
Yeah, no, I'm not catching anybody anymore. Like I've taken too many balls, like coming up through the system, in the ankles and the knees, and in places that shouldn't. Nah, I don't catch anymore. That hurts. I don't
And
I
on the
don't envy a catcher's job at all.
yeah, no, and on you don't want to be on the pavement in the street, and
No.
occasionally car. Do you have to do that? Like
Yeah, we played catch this morning and dodged like 15 cars. Is like, all right, can we calm down? Like, stay off the road.
right, exactly. What are you? I mean, are players hearing anything? Like, is there any contact to? Hey, we don't know, but just stay around, or any contact at all?
Um, we talk with the team like through like players wise through like a group chat that we have like and get updates from the union that from their talks with the league and trying to get a vibe of what the situation is going to be. Um, I mean, I'm not a player rep, so like I'm not going to be the first one to know much. But yeah, there's not been a ton of information that we've been given. But we're all hopeful that it starts moving that way soon.
Yeah, and you have to keep your mind right, but not too geared up, right? Because
For
you
sure.
aren't peaking anytime soon.
Yeah. It's that fine line between being like, hey, we might actually have to go soon, but also like if we don't, you don't want to be throwing off the mound 3 times a week, 4 times a week, trying to be super ready whenever you don't know when you actually have to play. So it's kind of a weird like holding pattern that you don't want to be too ready and not too ready. It's kind of an odd position to be in because usually you have like a plan where you're like, okay, by this day I need to be doing this to get ready for a season, and you were there and now you're not. So yeah, it's tough.
I know I got to speak to you late last season, saw you at a Mets game at the end, and you mentioned that it was weird being traded. Like we get used to it, in the media or fans that, oh, you got traded. But what was it like to be traded, especially from Tampa Bay where you're opening to Miami where you weren't?
Yeah, it was different. Like I think the weirdest part about being traded was like the whole aspect of I just bought a house and I have to basically pack up my whole life, and I had known everybody in the organization with Tampa for since basically my career started. So since 2013, and then I had to go to I went to a place where I didn't really know that many people, but I was pretty fortunate. Everybody there was great, and they treated me well. And like I think role wise, I don't think that was as big of a transition as it was just walking into a whole new clubhouse full of people that more or less you've never met before. You've played against, but you don't know personally. You don't know their families. Like you just have to kind of like feel your way out about the whole thing. I think that was probably the weirdest part.
Do you think you might open again? Was there any indication of that in the spring training, or are they just not built that way?
I don't think that's in the cards here in Miami. Most of what I was told was that we don't really do that here, which so be it. It's fine. Like I'm ready to throw in the back end of games, and with the starting pitching we have, the young starters in particular that we have, it's kind of not needed, if that makes sense. Like they're young and talented and are establishing themselves in the league, and that's not really what I think the opener role is for at the moment. But like I think that's their view of it.
Right. You know, the Rays had a very tactical approach
Hmm.
toward doing it that made sense. It was just that you were good at it, and I know
Yeah.
you were trying to reestablish yourself right after a hiccup, but you had a good finish to the season and you had a good spring.
Hmm.
Tell us what it's like trying to, when you've been successful, but trying to maintain confidence at the professional level? Because most fans think you guys are confident. There's never any problems. What is it like?
Well, the way that people think is not always the way it is. Like we can be the most confident in ourselves that we can be, but like you said, like it's not always smooth sailing. Like not everything goes according to plan. Not everything's always like easy. You go out there and you can make a great pitch and it could go wrong, or you can make a horrible pitch and go right. And sometimes the things that happen are so far out of your control, and you try to understand that they're out of your control, but as an athlete and a player and a competitor, you can't let yourself feel that way. And that's the hard part, is it the mental aspect of getting back into yourself, and confidence is amazing. Like like I always say, confidence is the best drug on the planet. Like you sit there and like when you're going good, it's easy. Like no matter what you're doing, when you're confident in it, things are easy. And as soon as you have a little bit of doubt, it becomes a lot more difficult.
What do you think it's going to be like? Because it's a likelihood, Ryan, that you guys will be playing games without fans. What do you think that'll be like? At least to start.
Honestly, I have no idea. Like it's gonna be strange for sure. It's gonna feel like playing on a backfield in camp. Like you're going out there getting some work, and there's two dudes with a radar gun behind the thing. I think it's gonna be weird for sure. You're gonna be able to hear like the crack of the bat, like, and it kind of echo a little bit. It'll definitely be an interesting vibe for sure. Like especially just you feed off the crowd a lot, and not having that is going to be, I don't know, interesting is the best way I can put
That will be
it.
so. Think of when's the last time you played not in front of a crowd? Can you think of it?
I mean, no, like even the craziest thing is, even when you're a kid, you have people there. It's like it might be just be family, but like
Mhm.
there's still people there watching. That's the most crazy thing to me, is like there's going to be like the team and the front office and everybody there, but they'll probably be up in their offices and doing their work and watching the game. But like it's going to be the first time like that, like nobody's actually going to be sitting there. You can't like you're going to look up in the stands, and I would say crowd, but you're going to look up in the stands and just be like, this is eerie, like very eerie that there's nobody there.
Even in Little League, yeah, mom and dad were there. You know, a couple of
Exactly.
neighbors or a couple of neighborhood
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is like no matter what age, you had people there, and then now it's at the highest level, there's going to be nobody. That's
Right.
a little bonkers.
For a time. We'll
For a time, yeah.
for a time, right? We'll just get back and we'll see eventually. Hey, Ryan, be well, and again, stay safe, stay in tuned. Um, you know, stay sharp.
For
Don't
sure.
catch anybody, especially
Yeah.
major leaguers in your complex.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we hope to see you out there soon. So stay safe and be well.
You too, BK.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Hey, by the way, last thing here, the MLB Dream Bracket presented by DraftKings. The finals are today. It's the Yankees and the Reds. They're tied up 2-2 going into the finals here. So this is it now, all-time greatest teams. You can head to DraftKings and compete for thousands in prizes for free, Yanks and Reds in the finals. See you next time.